Hello and welcome back to Panama City Real Estate News, your source for information about the single-family house market in Panama City and Panama City Beach, Florida. My name is Chan Lipscomb. I've been a real estate investor in Bay County for many years, and this video blog is my way of sharing what I see in my local market with you, the public. So if you're interested in owning property in Bay County or already own property, want to buy or sell property in Bay County, Florida, especially single family houses, this is information you can use. Today we're doing the monthly market update for January of 2013. If you remember from my last monthly update, I was really expecting a strong January because of the number of pending houses that we had for sale. Unfortunately, that didn't work out quite the way I expected. We had 117 single-family houses sell in the greater Bay County area in January. Now, while that's not as many as I expected, it's a lot better than we've had in previous Januaries. As a matter of fact, I have to go all the way back to January of '06 to find a January that had more units sold. It was 123 back in '06. So not as many as I wanted, but certainly a lot better. That's the good news. There's more volume. The bad news is, even though the volume is up, pretty much all the other numbers are down. So we're going to continue to use January of '06 as a benchmark as we talk about what happened last month. Median price last month was $144,000, and that comes out to $90 per square foot. Go back to January of '06, we find that the median price was $229,000, and the average dollar per square foot was $146. So those numbers, those value numbers, have dropped over those 7 years by about a third. So what that tells me is, yes, things are selling, but they're selling at dramatically lower prices than they were selling at what we call the peak. And I would even argue that the peak was that as of January of '06, we were already starting to slide down. I think we peaked about August of '05. So the market was already starting to retract at that point. Average days on the market last month, 135. So it took the average house 135 days to sell. Looking back to January '06, only 72 days to sell a house back then. So the time to sell a house has almost doubled from back then. Inventory today, how many houses on the market? As of today, and this is February 9th, we have 1,196 houses on the market, which at the present rate of sales, that gives us an absorption rate of 10 months. Back in '06, there were 1,836 houses on the market, so about 700 more, but because of the sales rate, that was a 15-month inventory. So again, inventories were already starting to increase at that point. Now, the 10-month inventory that we've got now, we always talk about a healthy market being 6 months worth of inventory, but as I look back at the last two Januaries of 12 and 11, our inventory was running about 18 months. I go back to January of 2010, inventory was 22 months. So our inventory number, or excuse me, our absorption rate, how many months it will take to sell all the houses that are on the market, is moving in the right direction. Last month in December, it was a very good number. It was 7.6, but the lower number of sales in January, even though our inventory dropped, it pushed that absorption rate number up. Foreclosures, I always like to talk about that. In January, there were 153 new foreclosure cases filed and 140 foreclosure cases terminated or consummated. Anyway, the banks actually took back 140 houses, which will end up back on the market. We currently have 287 houses under contract to sale. That's a good number. It's more than double of what actually sold in January. So that's good. Possibly good tidings for a little later on in the year. We did have 265 new houses come on the market. That's not a good number. That's about double as the number of houses that sold. So what that's going to do is push up the inventory. As you know, I've talked a lot about how I have felt that we've been in a little window of time when inventories were going down and houses were selling. I still believe that because of foreclosures, we are going to see more houses on the market. I think we're going to see inventories rise in 2013, and that will continue to put negative pressure on prices. So there you have it. As always, if you're trying to sell a house, please call me. I do buy houses, pretty or ugly. If you've got a house that's hard to sell or just not moving, or you just don't want to wait for the market to come to you, give me a call. I normally pay cash. I normally close in 5 days or less. Be happy to talk with you. No pressure, no obligation. Again, my name is Chan Lipscomb. This is Panama City Real Estate News. Thanks again for watching. See you next month. Bye-bye.